into part three. We have a lot to get into, and this is supposed to be the last part, so here we go. Now, this was New Year's of 2023 going into 2024, and I can't remember if she was in Atlanta or she went right after this, but this is when she was taking those garage pics, you know, the ones that she thought were giving, I don't know what, but all it gave was dark, dank, depressing. But you know what? Obviously, it worked. It obviously worked because right after these pics were taken, hold on. This thirsty ass Negro was hearting it, okay? He didn't like it, he hearted it. And before this, I was giving Tim so much grace. Like I was team Bria and Tim, let's make it work. But after this, it was up. Like we really gave this Negro the business after this. And it's been up ever since. And then around the middle of the month, here she goes popping out with a Maserati. And she labeled this a very blessed girl, you know, taking one of Bria's captions.
Say what now?
And here y'all go jumping to every conclusion but the right one. Oh my God, Tim brought her a car, blah, blah, blah. Why would Tim buy her a car? And we already knew at this point she didn't have any license. That would mean he would have to register and insure the car in his name for her to be driving around without any license. I don't think so. But again, oh, his son needs to get around, blah, blah, blah. She has a perfectly good Lincoln, even though she wasn't paying the car note, we found out. But she had a perfectly good Lincoln that she has been driving around with. So again, she did all this because Niche drives a Maserati. She saw Ari flexing in all her vehicles with the red leather interior, feet up, and she went and mimicked the same picture. Like, y'all give this girl too much credit. But again, he hearted that picture. So that means he's still sleeping with her. So that means he brought her a Maserati, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Use your common sense. That's stupid.
Well, I got confirmation in my DMs immediately that no, the Andersons only buy Mercedes. That's all they buy. That's all they drive. So no, he did not buy that car for puss, okay? But of course the blogs picked up the story and they ran with it. And of course she fed right into it. She could have easily came out and said, no, I used my child support to buy this car, or I used my hard-earned skunkier money to buy this car. But no, she let y'all run with what y'all always run with, the narrative that Tim was taking care of her. And y'all did. And this skank was really feeling herself, y'all. I mean, that little Maserati, and y'all assuming that he brought it for her, put a battery pack to her. She was just on Twitter cutting up. I never had a man who didn't think I was the funniest girl ever. Laugh a nigga right out of his drawers. Ha ha ha. Then somebody said, try and laugh that nigga into divorcing his wife and claiming you as his girl since you're so funny. Y'all. My God, today y'all was giving her the business. Oh my God, she really thought she was that girl. And then soon after, the Andersons were in Atlanta for a wedding. And this is when we were still trying to get a peek at Bria's baby bump, okay? When I tell you, Bria's friends and family do not play about her, I combed through so many videos, so many different pages of people, and not one person even posted a glimpse of Bria's baby bump. When I tell you we were all searching, we couldn't find any footage of that bump. That's how well protected and loved Miss Bria Anderson is, okay? And y'all remember, again, while all this was going on, Mr. Anderson was unemployed. He had been let go by the White Sox. There were a few teams that were, you know, shopping around for him or whatever, or he was shopping around. And here goes Puss, again, overplaying her hand. She let Niche style her because Niche was probably tired of her going out with her looking any old kind of way. And she put on this Oakland A's hat trying to assume that she had the inside, you know, of where Mr. Tim was going to land. But we all know he landed in Miami. And while Tim and Bria were in Atlanta, she put out a rumor that she was spotted at a restaurant with Tim, and that, again, they were meeting up in Atlanta, and she posted these videos of her in a hotel, you know, for us to assume that she was on a rendezvous with Mr. Tim. And while the Andersons were still in Atlanta, and I believe they were celebrating their Founders Day of their sorority, Bria and her girls popped out, revealing her baby bump. Now, I know I posted in the last video the Christmas pictures, but those pictures did not come out at Christmas time. It wasn't until her bump was finally revealed that she even showed the Christmas pictures as well as the ultrasound, you know, with the girls and stuff. So I know the timeline seems a little bit out of whack, but if you know the Andersons, they like to keep a lot of stuff under wraps and then pop out. You know, and plus there was a lot of speculation around this Atlanta trip, especially with Deja playing her little games and then Tim and Bria not really seen together. So in February, the Marlins start showing interest in Tim. From an interview that one of his teammates gave, he was a major part in bringing Tim onto the team. There was a mutual respect that he had for Tim Anderson. The player his name is Jazz. He's no longer with the Marlins. He's now a New York Yankee. But he is very fond of Tim, and he helped broker this deal. And so it was official. The Andersons, although they hadn't been in Chicago for a while, I believe they were either in Arizona. Yeah, I think they were in at their house in Arizona. But it was official. He was about to leave Chicago, Deja, and Lil Moneybag behind.
Damn, I'm out the game.
And while all this was going on with the Marlon showing interest, Bria was showing off some of her lovely Valentine's Day gifts that the hubby gifted her. You could see a Hermes box, a Tiffany box, that beautiful floral arrangement. And she was showing us her baby bump as she sat in her luxury closet with her luxury scents and her luxury bags in the background. And we know Deja is not one to be outdone, so she posted an old picture of her sitting across from who I assume is Mr. Tim. I will give her that, but again, I'm stating that this is probably an old, you know, picture. And she posted a wrinkled up Bottega Veneta bag. And I said, I hope there's some shoes in there, because at this point, all she was wearing was those Rick Owens, and we was over it. And I also say, here she goes posting body parts, because y'all know that infamous foot pic. I didn't even add that. But if y'all want, I'll throw that in just for good measure. And someone also pointed out that Bottega wasn't even using this color bag anymore at this point. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in too. This is how delusional she is.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna gather myself right now. Right now.
Y'all knew I was going to find this pic and insert it, because this is top 5 most unhinged moments of this whole situation. Like, she posted at the end of the month, you know how you like post what your month was and it shows like 6 pics. I mean, this was on one of the pics from last January, y'all. A pic with I'm assuming Mr. Tim's foot on her head, or at least that's what she wants us to believe, that this was Mr. Tim's foot on her head, as if that meant something. Like, this girl is so freaking crazy. I don't even see how a restraining order was never placed on her. I mean, I'm assuming it hasn't been, but I don't know. We'll get into that later on. But yeah, this girl is unhinged.
Hate this bitch, cuz bitch make the roof of my mouth itch.
So yeah, 6 pics to say goodbye. So that was January. This is February. Now, if you notice this pic down at the bottom with the flowers, and then you'll see in the background, you can see a man with a red baseball cap on. This is another unhinged moment. if you notice, she always posts men who resemble Mr. Tim in the background. And you can say, oh, well, it could just be a coincidence. No, because it's never a Latino man. It's never a white man. It's never a light-skinned black man. It's always a dark-skinned black man with hair, with a baseball cap that could be mistaken for Tim. Always. But anyway, while she was living in her delusions, Miss Bria and her family were on their way to Miami, posted up on the private jet, and Miss Bria had a song, and it was Ain't No Need for Stressing, okay? And she says, God, I thank you for the journey. Thank you for covering my family. Keep us safe and keep us together. Shield us and protect us. In your name, I rebuke any spirit that is unlike you from getting close to my family. Just say, Deja. May you be at the center of this new adventure and continue to carry us with your amazing grace. Goodbye, bitch. Goodbye, Chicago. Goodbye, darkness. Goodbye, black. Bria was like, we out. And here this heifer go, resharing the moment with a bottle of champagne, a black heart, and some confetti, as if she was included, as if she was even thought about in the decision-making, as if he called her and said, guess what? I'm going to Miami. Yay, let's celebrate. Girl, bye. You are a fan and a groupie just like the rest, okay? You just wanted to be a part of that moment. And of course, the blogs picked up on it and said, look at Deja congratulating her family. Just what she wanted to be included in that moment. But girl, you were an afterthought. All they were thinking about was getting far away from you and that child. Sorry to say. All right, somewhere near the end of March or the beginning of April, Bria gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. And it seems like all was right in the Anderson world. His big sisters were there to welcome him into the world, and they were sporting their In My Big Sister era t-shirts. Of course, Peyton has been a big sister before, but this is Paxton's first time. And from what Bria shares with us, she is enjoying every minute of it. Okay, y'all know the groupie brother, always the first one to post shit. He talking about ready for the first game. This was a couple weeks after Bria had the baby, and they all came out. Tim's mom was out on the field, posted up with her grandchildren. Okay, she had the jersey on, the little Jordans on. Bro was showing off everybody he met. You know, he just smiling, just happy to be there. Just happy to be included. Even side chick Sierra claimed she was there. Well, she was there, showing off. Do I think she was there at Tim's bequest? Not at all. She's a stalker. Her family is a baseball family. They're at all the games. So she took it upon herself to fly out to Miami just to be petty and, get some attention. But as you notice, I haven't really included too much about them side chicks because they were so irrelevant. The only one that is relevant is Deja, and that's only because she got 7.
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you, is it a coincidence?
Hello?
Okay, and after everybody was probably ignoring her calls, she made her way to the airport, or what appeared to be the airport, with a picture of 7 in his stroller and that old-ass White Sox hat. Because, he never did get any Marlins gear. And she posted this, I guess, to scare Tim and Bria into believing she was on her way. Hold on. Then she posted that video pretending to be in Florida. This really my favorite weather. Girl, bye. Look, for everybody so play, it's sure a lot of sucker shit going on. I done fell in love with staying out the way. Yeah, all right. Once you pick a side,
Bitch, find something to do.
she ended up spiraling out of control, and unbeknownst to us, she ended up arrested. Okay, so basically the registration was expired. Now, this is the Maserati, y'all, the one y'all swore Tim brought her. So basically, after the temp tags, she never got it registered. Disregard official traffic, whatever. Operating uninsured motor vehicle, so it didn't even have insurance, and she attempted to flee. Like, but she was in Florida, right? She was working hard to try to get this shop open, you know, to prove that she was a businesswoman. At this point, we still had no idea that she had been arrested. She was keeping that close to the vest. And then she had that very, very soft opening, y'all. And when I say soft, I mean it was so soft that it ended up closing before it ever got started. Ciao. It was nowhere for them people to sit. She had a couple tables, a old-ass etagere to hold all her drinks, because you know one thing she gonna do is drink. Look at her dusty elbows, y'all. Look at just cheap. Look at that cheap, tight, pleather looking. And look at her child. Just a mess. I don't know what Tim was doing. Why he was walking on the wild side, why he was ended up in the gutter. But no, ma'am. And look at her mother in the background. Oh, child. This the family he procreated into, y'all. But anyway, yeah, she was doing all this, you know, because she was hurt. Bria had the baby. The whole family was down in Florida celebrating, and she was stuck in Chicago with...
No, my bad. I'm sorry. My bad.